A monumental shift is happening towards the end of March. Saturn, the planet of karma and material manifestation, is changing signs. For the first time in 30 years almost, it is moving to its most favorite sign in Aquarius, where it can do the best according to ancient astrology. And what does it mean for you personally? It means that the end of a serious problems in your life. For many of you, towards the end of March and April, you'll see the end of certain troubles, of certain situations that were too complicated, that were too restraining, or that were too limiting in some way. The end of certain responsibilities, the completion of certain responsibilities and the results of them, but also moving into a totally new set of priorities and important lessons that you have to learn. The start of a new bunch of karmic lessons with Saturn moving in Aquarius, which will actually give very good results by the end of this period. It's going to take about 2.5 years for you to see the results. It's almost like while Saturn was in Capricorn, you were building the foundations, you were building the structure of something, you were disciplining yourself. And when it moves to Aquarius, you're going to now build the infrastructure, you're going to build the connections and the networking to achieve that goal or that that great work. So there will be a refocusing, a change of directions for all of you gradually from the end of March, from one set of priorities and difficulties to solve and lessons to master to another set of priorities and lessons to master, which will end up in the fulfillment of a great work, in the achievement of a great work for you. So exciting times, guys. March also brings Mercury going direct. So great news, 2 planets in their own sign. So listen what's going to happen for each of the 12 signs. Plus, we are doing an apprenticeship, so our second apprenticeship, one-on-one with a tutor, with an amazing astrologer, the best astrologer I've ever seen, with the best predictive techniques, Victor. It's his second apprenticeship. We already had our first apprenticeship group, but you work one-on-one with the teacher, graduate, and out of that apprenticeship group, 4 people are going to be working with us, will be astrologers that you will see that they will do videos with us. So if you'd like to have a chance to work with us, with Astroladder, or just to learn astrology as a master, come and join us for this apprenticeship. Very few people. He cannot take many because he works one-on-one with them. And it's 30 or 20% off till the 20th of March. Taurus, rising sun or moon, March 2020. And before we go to Saturn, the most interesting thing, how is your life going to change over the next 2 years, 3 years almost? We're going to go through the month first. Quite a few good things. First of all, Venus, the planet that rules you, is entering your sign Taurus. When it does that, one of the first things you're going to start feeling, and in the whole month it's going to be in your sign, is that you become more able to manifest because it's your own sign, you know, and you're able to manifest when the planet that rules you is aspecting you, plus Jupiter is aspecting you as well, the other manifesting planet, positive planet from Capricorn, with a trine. So we have a double manifesting power for Tauruses. So Taurus, good news. I think in March we'll be able to manifest, especially the good things of life easier, especially when you have to, if it's your sun in Taurus, maybe something to do with career that you can manifest, that something to do with important men in your life, with your vision for your life that you can manifest in a positive way. If it's your moon in Taurus, something positive can come in regards to your personal life, emotional life, relationships, towards your home, family, close people, emotional state of joy, you know, and place of living as well. And if it's your ascendant, your overall life, to your health improvements, your initiatives that you can start now, that very likely will be quite beneficial because you have double manifesting power according to ancient Gemini astrology. So the ruler triggers the sign when it's in it to first degree, and Jupiter to a second degree of manifestation. You have both of those. So use March in a good way. I mean, you can do something very successful, something pleasant, something that you have personal saying, that you initiated and you manifested. Plus, Venus entering your sign for the whole month means that you're going to have more of the good things in life, more luxuries, more pleasures, enjoyable, beautiful places, maybe time in nature, maybe better foods. Venus is in its own sign. You can indulge more in the five senses. You can, whenever you go to a restaurant, while Venus is in Taurus, you might find yourself that you're kind of basically ordering the best foods, or that you're finding really good spots to eat. Or Venus is naturally planet of money, so when it enters your sign, there can be increased material resources, so financial opportunities for you, more ease in gaining financial benefits for you, also making you more beautiful. When Venus enters one sign, by the end of that period, by the end of March, they have done, people usually will do something for their beauty, go to a massage, go to a, currently Venus is in my sign, Aries, and I never do pamper myself. Venus is to pamper, but now I've gone for 2 weeks twice for a facial once and for a massage once. So we tend to do nice things for ourselves when Venus, and to show ourselves more self-love when Venus is in your sign. You definitely do that. To indulge more in the pleasant things of life, to attract more people that can help you, because you become more magnetic. Venus gives this quality of magnetism where you attract others by being sweeter, kinder, nicer, even by your appearance, by being more agreeable. There is this chill, gentle energy that Venus gives to you when it's with you. So you can get under people's skins easier. So, I mean, don't use it as manipulative, but you can. It just depends how you want to use that energy. And anything, if you have any career connected with Venus, working with women, with luxury goods, with food, with beautiful material, with design, with art, with music, this month can feel very inspirational. It can feel very good. It can bring strengthening of those positions, new projects for you as well. Plus, Venus is love, don't forget. And you are more likely to experience more loving moments, more moments of content. Venus is a planet of content. And things come easier to you. So use that energy, you know, and you're more likable to others. Then we have another important influence, Mercury. On around the 10th of March is turning direct. It's turning direct in your 10th house. It was retrograde there, and it was retrograde in your 11th house. So first you might see if there was some complications. You might notice that if there was some complications or delays connected to a job or connected to some decision with your career, maybe job interviews that were delayed, maybe a career project that needed extra efforts and fixing something and going over it over and over a few times. Now it's when Mercury starts moving direct, you'll see that it gets untangled, that you start seeing the results, that the delays in those areas of career or work or some complications with authority figures, father figures or bosses figures, they are resolved and they come back to normalcy, normality. Plus, if you've been working hard on some project connected to your career, requiring a lot of your skills and fixing some issues there, now things will start, you know, you see the results of how you've upgraded or changed that or improved it, and hopefully you'd have created a better reputation and a better product in the long run. But you're going to start seeing the results of that. Plus, Mercury moves after that into your 11th house, where it was retrograde as well in big part of February. And the 11th house, if there were some complications and problems with income, some delays with money, that because it's a house of gains, of rewards, if there were some delays of some, you're taking, for example, some recognition or some reward or some title or some honor or some bonus or some payment, some income. If there was some delay, some complications, from around the middle of March, it will be solved. And you'll see forward moving in that direction. Also, if there were some complications with organizations and groups that you're a member of, that might have happened in the previous month and a half, again, it will start being solved from March. If there were some complications with friendship, again, or some friendship that came back, and for you to get peace about it, or some most stressful situation in a friendship or in a social environment with colleagues, with groups of people, again, from the middle of the month, it will come into normalcy. And then we have Mars and Jupiter. The whole month of March, they're forming basically so-called wealth yoga in your ninth house, Taurus. So where is your wealth coming? It's a temporary wealth yoga, but you can use it again. When Mars, Jupiter is inspiration and opportunity, and Mars is to act with enthusiasm on something. So if an opportunity to study comes to you, or to travel, which is the ninth house, take it. It can lead to enrichment of your life in some way, to something, it can inspire you into action. It can inspire you into expand that sense of consciousness about abundance and opportunities. Something can come to you from outside sources that you did not expect, that can be very positive. And it's connected either to traveling, either to people that you did not know about, maybe foreigners from another state, out of town, not familiar people, people from outside, so to speak, that can, or teachers and mentors, they can be a source of income, or not income, even wealth in some way. It might be wealth of knowledge, wealth of financial opportunity, but take those chances, these ninth house chances. Plus, if you're a teacher, if you're doing some courses, webinars, they can become very beneficial with a wealth yoga in your ninth house in March. Or if you decide to take a course and study something, or apprenticeship, or study, or take a mentor or a teacher, fantastic time. And by the way, we're doing a apprenticeship. So if any of you are interested in learning astrology one-on-one with the best professional astrologer I know, Victor, how especially he focuses on predictive astrology, how to predict the future using ancient and modern methods. You can do it in March. So fantastic time. It will be a source of opportunity and financial opportunity in the long term for many of you. But yes, Mars and Jupiter are starting a new cycle, which will last for about 2 years. So in about 2 years, there'll be a new opportunity after that, but this new cycle. So something that you start now in March, Taurus, might take 1 or 2 years fully, but it's something educational, something to expand your knowledge. It may be connected to traveling, to teaching, to learning, to mentoring, to coaching of some sort, but it's going to be a source of great growth and even wealth for you. And then last but not least, Saturn is changing sign. Wow. Only till July, but then it will come back at the end of 2020 in December and stay there for 2 years. So what you're hearing now, what you're going to learn about Saturn changing signs is going to be valid for you till 2022. But especially now, you're going to get a glimpse of the biggest lessons you're going to have and the biggest shifts for the next 2-3 years. Saturn is moving from your ninth house to your 10th house. It was in your ninth house for the last 2 years, which means that some complicated situation connected to this ninth house might be resolved now. So some burden, some too heavy responsibilities towards a father figure or towards some educational project might be ending. One line of education might be ending, completing, you can be seeing the results of it, or one line of studies or teachings of some sort, or one phase of teaching can be ending. And it's almost like as well that maybe you've been preparing, you've been doing some hard studies over and changing of your belief system, restructuring of those belief system over the last 2 years. And now Saturn, we're going to move into your 10th house. So you can start over the next 2 years applying what you have learned the hard way in the last 2 years, applying it to your career, actually starting to see actual results, material results of something that you probably studied, or something that you probably, some restructuring that happened in your belief system, how you see the world, how you perceive different philosophical ideas like success, abundance, life, God, money, how you perceive. There was some change that happened over the last 2 years towards more realistic, more practical perceptions of reality of those concepts. And because of this change of beliefs, now when Saturn moves into your 10th house, you're going to approach this new outlook, or this more restructured outlook on life. You're going to apply it into how you create your reality, because the 10th house is the house of actual your actions, your karma, your actions that turn into career, that turn into impact on the rest of the world, that your actions that turn into your reputation, into the actual activities that give results. So somehow your career, your focus will shift from learning and questioning the big questions of life and asking them, and working on yourself, because the ninth house is one of the self houses. So while Saturn was there, you worked on yourself a lot, on your qualities, on your knowledge, and when Saturn transits into the 10th house, new responsibilities will come to you in regards to your career, maybe new possibilities for work for many of you. Some position can come to you that has more duties, might make you work twice as much because it is Saturn, but it will give you a lot of respectability. It can give you more responsibilities, but also more authority and promotion and reputation. They really solidify your reputation. So definitely some big shift in regards to your career. But again, it can also indicate that if you're not in the right career, with Saturn moving into a 10th house, you're going to start noticing how dissatisfied you're with the current state of your career. It might become too difficult to cope with. A very demanding boss can appear. The responsibilities might increase so much. And if you're not in the right career, Saturn transiting your 10th house will basically gradually make you change from one career into the right one, which is the right priorities for you. Your priorities in career will change. Or if you're already in the right career, it will help you and ask you to streamline that career, to change the structure of it. For example, let me give you an example. When Saturn transited my 10th house, it's been, as an Aries, it's been for the last 2 years, I've been gradually changing the whole structure of my business, because I realized, my God, I'm working so hard, but not smart. I'm doing so many things that are just wasting my energy. I need to change the structure. I need to make it more efficient. I need to focus my energy, which is Saturn energy, the hard work, into the things that are really the most practical, that are most realistic. So streamline, make more efficient your career, the structures in your life or your business or your work. These are the 10th house matters. So this is what is going to push you towards. Usually it does it through some kind of dissatisfaction, because it's going to be in Aquarius, but by you observing public feedback, and you're like, okay, so I need to change something in those structures. But there will be a change in regards to your career in the priorities. And believe me, it might require you to work very hard for 2.5 years, but the rewards when Saturn transits its own sign that it loves can be really powerful in a positive way. The hard work that you put can really strengthen your positions, can really make you create your career now if you haven't done it till then, can really manifest and solidify those opportunities in regards to your social status and career. And even if there are certain crisis moments of you leaving one job or one career, and it's hard decisions that you have to make. Saturn is never easy, but the results are long lasting, and it's going to be positive results. Saturn in its own sign, Saturn in its, and possibly it might be some career that is more public, that is connected to larger groups of people, that is to modernize gradually, step by step, your career and make the right connections there as well. So that will be an interesting process. Looking forward to see what you report for me in April, May, and June, while Saturn is fully settled into your 10th house, if you're starting to see those changes gradually. So thank you so much, Capricorns. Capricorn, sorry. I'm thinking about Saturn Taurus. Enjoy this month, and I will see you next one.